Quote of the day. Today, everything is made in China. Of course, except for courage. For that is found in Palestine.
I think we should edit that out. I think we should edit that out. Palestine doesn't exist, guys. It's created by the British.
This is
no.
This was the quote that I was talking about.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Hey,
Do you know what?
That definitely is a bomb. That's one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. Okay, technically the moon landing was in 1969. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid is the rock and roll 80s, but you get the idea. I'm only 11 years off, so who's counting? In an era when the human race looked upward to the stars more than ever before, in an era of Robocop and Back to the Future, compact discs, Walkman stereos and space shuttles, where a woman would dare to be astrophysics professors, engineers, or indeed astronauts, we, the reader, will be taken on a journey that introduces us to the beauty and wonder of astronomy before we experience just a morsel of the fear and uncertainty of a mission gone wrong. This is the originality that we've been waiting for, the much needed deviation from the formula. I like the feeling of this book. I like the atmospherics.
Nice. I would have liked for you to just say one small step for woman, one small step. It was like a. I mean, right there. Pause this video right now. Go and read Atmosphere by
Taylor Jenkins Reid. And when you've read it, you can join us for the discussion.
Or you can join us anyway, because we're going to tell you all about it. My name's Elijah.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome to the Aisha Library.
I'm going to try and remember to delete that.
Yeah.
I'll probably forget. So, what did you think of the book?
I liked it.
Me too.
Yeah, I liked it.
No, I didn't like it at all.
You didn't like it?
I thought it was a waste of time. I thought it was a waste of a book. I think it was a waste of story, and I think I was tricked and fooled by the author. I was told that this was a story about space, but it wasn't. It was a queer story, and with a little aspect of space.
The first part was about space. The first part was about space.
Well, that was the hook.
Yeah, there was some space stuff.
We were the mark.
Listen, you watch Star Wars. To be fair, that's not about space either.
Yeah. You got more, so you can go first.
Right off the bat, we're getting exactly what we want. Space, and more space. In the summer of 1980, astrophysics professor Joan Goodwin begins the rigorous astronaut training regime at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. Never mind that she is a woman and the Equal Pay Act has only existed for 5 years. Never mind that she has a niece who looks up to her, Frances, as her sister Barbara is constantly reminding her. Joan is a woman with her eyes on the stars, and she'll be damned before she'll let anybody tell her otherwise. The first parts of the book are crucial for me because the author has taken the opportunity to actually include information about the universe and the stars. This is key because in addition to being entertained, I also want to learn something. Yeah. This book should capture the magic of astronomy and neatly vacuum pack it between two covers. There are a lot of other authors in this situation who would just count on just the vibe of space and just put the fries in the bag. Strangely, however, when I perused the reviews on this book, a lot of people said they didn't like the information about space and Joan's passions. This is why readers can't have nice things. So they were like, oh, I don't care about all of that space shit. They were saying a lot of that.
I don't think there was enough of that. They started talking about things, and in an Andromeda galaxy was 50 light years away, and this, that, and they were speaking about some things that we obviously knew about from some of the other books we've read, but it was nowhere near enough. And then obviously at the start of the book, they tried to seal the deal with the space stuff, and then it started to peter out very drastically throughout the middle and the end of the book. It started to become something else, which I didn't like, and I feel like I was fooled, and I want my money back. Jonah wasn't afraid to die. She felt like she was prepared for the nothingness awaiting her. Is this the author needlessly reinforcing... I sounded American there. Is this the author needlessly reinforcing the stereotype that astronauts and scientists, for that matter, are filthy atheists? I feel like it's worth mentioning that some of the top scientists, astrophysicists, and so forth said that they were not believers until they started studying the galaxy, and that the more they study the universe, the more evidence they find for there being a maker. So I initially wanted to bash the author until she made a massive U-turn and started talking about Jonah's personal belief system. So I found the beginning of the book a tad confusing. There was an immediate introduction to a dual timeline. A good few characters immediately thrown at us, so it took me a while for me to get my bearings. I started to notice that a lot of our focus was on this little girl, Frankie. It's almost like the author is using Frankie as an easy win. It's almost like the author expects us to fall in love with the child, Frankie, Frankie, or the character Frankie, just because she's a child. Because I cannot see for the life of me why I should care about her. What was the purpose of Frankie, if any, and did you fall in love with the character Frankie as was intended?
No, I didn't fall in love with the character, and well, because this isn't my first rodeo, but you're 100% true. They do it all the time. Like, have you never
It's a
heard
little girl, so
people get puppies literally just to charm other people?
Yeah.
Like, that was the purpose of Frankie in the story. She's a puppy.
Yeah.
You know,
And we were supposed to feel sorry for her because she was a bit fucked as well.
yeah, and
Yeah,
sort of thing,
yeah.
you know,
When she was
but
acting out,
obviously,
oh, she needs a love and this, that, and the other.
fortunately, I am mighty, and that would never work on me.
She needs a sharp slap.
Uppercut.
A bit much.
Got hit in the nuts with a flashback just as I was praising this book. Oh well, can't have everything. I honestly don't even think flashbacks and time skips are bad literary devices. Quite the opposite, actually. I think their tools are overused and often to poor effect by a lot of authors. But when used correctly, I think they can only enhance the reader's experience. That being said, I think a statement is made about an author's skill when they can start their stories where they begin, finish them where they end, and keep us locked in with nothing but pure straight cookery. So, the beginning of the book, it was 1984, I think it was, and then Joan's at a mission or whatever it is, and it goes wrong, and then she's like,
Vanessa.
oh, I remember.
It was Vanessa.
Vanessa, sorry, it was, yeah.
See, that's what even confused me
Yeah,
before.
it was Vanessa. And then she was like, oh yeah, I remember when the last one went wrong, 1980, and then boom. And I was just like, we could have just started from here.
Yeah.
Start your story where it begins, finish it where it ends. You don't need
That
to
was
be
a
doing all this.
big problem I had with this book. I thought it was confusing. The book reads, how can my heart sink in microgravity? That was a clever line of writing. It highlights how confused we are about our own emotions. In times of trouble, we feel our heart sink when it does not. It begs the question, what else do we routinely feel that is also not real? Love? Lust? Nostalgia? Hope? As you can tell, because the story is not gripping me, I'm having to dissect lines of text in my head just to stay interested. In the alternate timeline, Steve and Hank are dead. We do understand that Hank is the husband of Joanna's friend, but again, we don't really care yet. So I don't know why the author would be killing off characters in the beginning of the story in one timeline and then getting us to know them in the other timeline. It makes no sense. It's literally a stupid idea. I thought the whole point was to get us to emotionally connect to the characters before they are cruelly taken away. Do you think that the author thought that she was cooking with the dual timeline?
I always think they think they're cooking. Like, genuinely, I always think they think they're cooking as well.
One thing I will say is that the author did a good job with conveying the severity of signing up to NASA as an astronaut. In the welcome event, they played the audio transmission of astronauts dying in previous missions, and that was a sobering moment. Of course, that scene would have probably hit harder in the other timeline if we hadn't seen the whole crew wiped out before.
Yeah.
But do dual timelines ever work in any of the books that we read?
I don't think it's a device for books. I think that's for TV and movies. I don't really think it's for books because it's just a different experience. When you're reading and watching, it's just such a
when
different
you're
worlds.
reading dual timeline, it's like two books that are stuck to one, and then you're reading this, and you're like, you know, this is gonna sync up somehow. When is it?
It's not seamless. It's never seamless, and it's just I just feel like authors just stay away from it. There's no point.
Yeah, fair enough.
But then I guess these bestsellers, there must be a point. A point is money. Some of the lines that Taylor is dropping are absolutely golden. Pure poetic genius. It's like she's showing off. I'll give you an example. We are the stars, and the stars are us. Every atom in our bodies was once out there, was once a part of them. To look at the night sky is to look at parts of who you once were, who you may one day be. I am Optimus Prime. And in the name of freedom, we take the fight to them. Okay, I added that last bit in, but it's very on brand. If you close your eyes, you can just see that speech right at the end before they take on Megatron.
Yeah.
And for me, it's really skillful writing. The poetry is of such a standard that it's almost a call to action. Like, I now feel like I want to be an astronaut. The question is, Elijah, if we are all stars, then that would make you the black hole.
Thank you very much. Lesbian woman sexually assaults heterosexual man just so that she can confirm that she's gay.
Yeah.
Joanna is leading one of her colleagues on who she knows likes her. In a drunken moment at New Year's Eve party, she pulls him outside around the back and says to him, "Kiss me." He politely declines because, "You're drunk," he says. "I want to kiss you, but not like this." "I might not want to kiss you when I'm sober. I want to kiss you now," Joanna says. Call me crazy.
Way to make a guy feel special.
Call me crazy, but I'm pretty sure he's not given consent. And that was quite the manipulation too. It was a move that a sleazy salesman used that offers one time only, and if you walk out the door, then it's gone forever.
Legit.
Anyway, despite the protest from her colleague, Jonah grabs him by the lapel and forces the kiss. After being underwhelmed because of the lack of spark from the kiss, she dismisses him immediately. Women are assholes, aren't they?
Yeah, be
If
gone
that was
now.
a man, lawsuit immediately.
Come on. How many different ways could we phrase the question? Is this a man? How many different situations could there be where we're like, if that was a man, maybe to finish the...
Yeah, exactly. My question to you, Joseph. How early on in the story did you realise that Jonah wasn't normal? Or heteronormal, I should say, before somebody cancels me.
Well, it was actually kind of spoiled for me because I read some reviews and I just saw, queer love story, and I was like, okay, well, now it's kind of spoiled for me straight away. So I kind of knew from the beginning, I want to say, because it was actually spoiled for me. And this is one negative of reading reviews of books, even midway or before you've actually finished them or whatever it is. But
fair enough. When did I realise that you ask?
Back to formula. Back to formula.
No, I realised, I think after you kissed her, she kissed him, then I didn't realise, because there was some hints here, because she was talking to Vanessa, and Vanessa would say, oh, you know why, for certain things, and I was just thinking, what's going on?
Like flirting,
I didn't know what they were going on about.
What is this gay shit?
No, I didn't know. I'm just saying, I think if it was a man and woman, I would realise, but maybe in my head, I was like, it's two women, they're probably just friends. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe when you're straight, that's what you think. You don't really see this gay shit. Gay signs and stuff like that. You don't see it. I don't know. I didn't see it till late, boy. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, it started connecting.
Yeah, no, it was all making sense.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that's why.
I mean, to be fair, it's the 80s, isn't it? This is the 80s. You have
So
to
it's
remember,
illegal
like,
then,
not,
isn't it? Oh,
no,
it's just legalised, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if it was legal or not, but all I'm
was
saying
definitely
is
frowned on.
Yeah, it was frowned on in a big way. So it's not like today, where it's like you can have all these pride parades or whatever it is, locking up London.
That was last week, isn't it?
That was last week, and I was trying to get
was
to
there?
work.
Oh, so you was there.
Well, I had to go through it to
Did
get
you
to
see
work.
any naked people?
There was a bear.
Is it?
Bear. Like all
Completely
fat white
naked.
guys,
Ugh.
like wearing them fucking rubber, whatever it is.
I don't know.
Bear.
You didn't see any women?
Nah.
I've always wanted to go drive past or something. Or
Actually, no, there were a couple of ladies with their tits out, actually. There was a couple of them. There was like a squad of them that was good. I don't know how they managed to lock up Whitehall like this. I don't know how you're locking up. Like,
apparently there was a million people.
Jesus.
They can do
look
what
like
the
a
fuck
million.
they
It
want.
looked like a- but it's like,
an army of a million people, you can do what the fuck
it's
you
not like
want.
they just turned up though, because
No,
there was like railings,
Yeah,
everything.
it's a plan, Brad. That's what they do every year.
But it was like July. I said, your thing's done, bro. Your month is over.
I don't know, mate. I don't know how it works.
Maybe it's like the 5th to the 5th or something like that.
Oh, well, it is a month.
Yeah, it's a month,
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
June. June's like the month.
You'd
Once
know.
you see
I
like
don't know.
Facebook, once you see like Facebook and them and take them different colours off their thing, off their logos,
Yeah,
that's when your month is over.
fair enough. Bacon in here.
Yeah, no, it is. This book is showing so many elements of being a winner. We have the female main character striving against the patriarchal regime to be a success in a field that nobody wants to see a woman succeeding in. Then we have the Kingsman-style gauntlet of NASA challenges for our recruits, the hardships of which will bond them together in an almost military camaraderie. Eventually, the story will evolve into focusing more on Joan and Vanessa's relationship, which had its fair share of emotional context all on its own, what with them being gay women in the 80s. The author is showing that she's not afraid to tackle big themes, which I like. So, we don't really see... It's funny because romance, chick-lit romance, people kind of stay away from gay relationships. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, because
women don't want to read it.
Yeah, the norm is obviously straight. But look, I don't condemn her for going down the path she did. But I think if we're gonna market this as a space book, then there needs to be scenarios of that. So how does them being gay affect their life at NASA? Yeah, they had their boss come in and say, yeah, I don't know if you lot are gay, but keep that shit. He said, keep that shit under wraps. Yeah, we have that, but we need to see more. We needed to, we need to see more prejudice towards women. Yeah, we had guys saying, oh, you can pitch my tent and all this stuff, little shit, but it's nothing compared to what we expected.
I know what you're saying.
So I wanted her to paint the picture more vividly. But yeah, it took me a while to realise that this story is not an astronaut story, it's a romance story. At first, the author tried to make an effort with the NASA stuff, but before long, anything NASA or space related just became referenced as training. For example, the book would say, Jonah was so busy leading up to her launch that she had no time to spare for Vanessa. Every waking moment she was spent training and preparing for her mission. And that was it. You'd expect some more technical jargon, some more actual preparation, us walking us through that, but no. It took me a good 3/4 of the book to realise that there was actually no real plot to this story. Is there? Would you consider what was provided in this book to be a plot?
To me, it was like
waiting for missions.
Yeah.
It's not a
there
plot.
was 3 separate plots in my opinion.
Which was?
And then the first one is like the space bit. The second one is like
no, but a plot is normally you got a beginning of the story and the end of the story.
Yeah,
and we had a wait. It seemed like the whole book it was marking time for them going up into space. That was it, and we had romance in between. That was it. So that's why I say.
I mean, a lot of people consider that a plot.
Also, it could be boring, but the whole mission to space seemed to be a bit pointless. Did they actually have a reason for needing to send people up there in the first place? It all seemed a bit pointless. It felt like all the astronauts were going up into space for bragging rights. Jonah's boss kind of said in passing, you did some vital research up there. I was hoping to send you up again on many more missions. But there was no mention of what the research actually was or what Jonah was actually doing on a daily basis. So, have we been had by the author thinking that this book was a book about space? Sorry.
I mean, to a certain degree, but again,
settled.
To a certain degree, but a load of people thought there was too much space stuff in there. So it's weird how you could read the same book and come to opposite conclusions.
You can't pick a book up called Atmosphere and think, there's too much space in here.
Well, there's no atmosphere in space, funnily enough. So
you got to go through the atmosphere to get to space.
You got to go through a lot to get to space. I can't help but feel that this book was destined for the big screen. I can't see how this wouldn't work as a feature-length movie. It has everything. Training scenes, a mission gone wrong that leaves only 2 women aboard alive, a dilemma that Vanessa must tackle, whether to fix the payload doors or defy her instructions and deorbit. Words like deorbit are really nice. Whether to sacrifice or save her own life and that of her fellow astronaut Lydia. This book also had meaningful relationships, such as between Joan and her niece Frances, and complex characters too. It's interesting that Joan paints herself as this unromantic person, as every 3 sentences she's waxing lyrical about space, literally romanticizing the night sky. So I was like, you're the biggest romantic ever, just not for people. So that was a nice complexity that I found to her character. So there was stuff to be enjoyed about this. Obviously, I said it was good. That's what I said. I said I liked it. So obviously, there's room for improvement, and not everything was perfect, but I thought it was good. I liked it.
I think,
as someone that enjoys space stories as well.
I think the author is a good author, and I've read some of the comments of this, the reviews of this book, and they said something along the lines of, they normally really enjoy the stories that she writes, but this one wasn't it. Yeah, but she normally does. She does clangers. Yeah, wait, clangers is bad, isn't it? It's clangers good. Yeah, she normally is very, very good. And I saw elements of this story. I mean, it's funny that I have problems with this story, but the story was enjoyable read. It seemed like she wasn't fighting for content. It seemed like it was flowing. So I think she's got some talent, and I think we're going to have to read some actual stories by her.
You know what's funny? I saw a review where somebody said, they didn't enjoy it because it said all the space stuff in there. It seemed like she found on 2 Google searches.
No, I thought it was quite technical, some of the stuff in the beginning.
Yeah, no, it was. It was, but,
So, yeah, I'm surprised they said that. I've got one more.
I'll go for it. How?
Because you started first.
Oh, yeah.
Why is so much time spent on Frankie? We don't care if she's left boarding school or not. Does the author think that we are hanging on to every word of Frankie's story, or does she know that we know that it's filler? The story moves back to the second timeline, where surprisingly we get a bit of suspense. The author brings the story back round to Vanessa in trouble, which is where the book started. But this time I'm fully invested. I'm on the edge of my seat. Vanessa is the last able-bodied crew member alive, and the space shuttle is barely holding together. In its current state, re-entry is essentially a death sentence. One crucial failure stands out. The mechanism to close the blast doors is broken. Without those doors sealed, Vanessa will be exposed to the lethal conditions of atmospheric re-entry. It's a simple, brutal truth. The doors must be closed for her to survive, but a system designed to protect her has failed. The mission controller orders Vanessa to spend her time repairing the mechanism so that the blast doors can be closed. The problem is, Vanessa wants to be a hero. One of the crew members is in critical condition. Vanessa decides to work on stabilizing her colleague against the orders of the mission controller. I can't live with myself if I don't try and save her, Vanessa fired back to the mission controller. If you don't get those doors closed, then the shuttle will not make it and both of you will die. And then comes a reveal. But I can't lose you, said the mission controller. Plot twist, the mission controller is Jonah, the same one who'd been giving Vanessa orders earlier, who is Vanessa's girlfriend. So I thought that was a good reveal, an extra layer to the story. But it's a massive conflict of interest to have your partner on a space shuttle when you're running mission control.
100%.
That dynamic is absolutely compromises every decision. Yeah. It's dangerous, unethical, and honestly, they should both be put in prison. That's how the book should have ended.
Straight court-martial, prison time. I imagine you're Lydia, and it's like, oh, the mission controller's saying, don't save me, let me die. But the mission controller's girlfriend.
Like this, in a
what the fuck? The mission controller's your girlfriend? What the fuck? And she's saying, save yourself and leave me?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
not really fair.
Crazy. So the moral of the story is, don't allow women into NASA. Do you think that
or any other job?
Do you think that was the message that the author was trying to get across?
Imagine at the end, he was like, that's my message.
Because the boss knew about it and he was like condoning it sort of thing.
Yeah, that is at the highest level of government.
Crazy. Everybody needs to lose their job. But jokes aside,
court martials all around.
Yeah, jokes aside, I'm conflicted about the ending. I think it's hard to feel sympathy for astronauts dying in space. You know it's part of the job. It's like, you knew the risks.
Yeah, no, come on.
The reason why I am conflicted is because Vanessa survived and I was relieved. Surely that's a sign of a good book. When I found out she survived, I was like,
no, it's a sign that there's stuff in there. Like I said, there's things to be enjoyed in
yeah,
there.
the author did all right.
The author did all right. But I think what's interesting is that point you just made about going up to space. It's like, it's not safe, is it?
Yeah, you know
it's
what
like
you're doing.
The people that went to look for the Titanic.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like
no one had any sympathy for them down there.
Like,
no one. So why do we have
unprovoked
why do we have sympathy for astronauts in space? You're stuck up there.
It's not even like you're going to war for us as well.
That's exactly what I put in my notes and I took out.
Yeah,
I literally said, it's not like you're going to war to save
You're literally going up there for bands.
Yeah, for no reason. For no reason, just to
bragging
say you
rats.
can.
Yeah, bragging rats.
So yeah.
Man said you can aura farm like Neil Armstrong, bro. This guy was one small step from man.
No,
this guy was aura farming to the max.
Well, it's all the way from Area 52. 51, sorry. 51.
Remember the CIA locked off that comment that we had, that short about you can't trust the CIA, and it got just locked off YouTube.
I don't even remember that. They must have neuralized my brain.
No, so we go for quotes.
What did you rate the book out of?
I gave it a 3. I think a 3 is fair. It had a lot of enjoyable stuff in there. It had, it taught us some stuff about astronomy, etc., etc. There was tension, the dilemma, the mission, stuff like that. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. I think
three's respectable. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It's something different though. It's something different. It's something different than what we've read and whatnot. It was refreshing.
From I read that piece on Amazon, I was like, yes, different.
But it didn't impress you though. You were slightly disappointed. Surely you was expecting something better.
Well, no. I'm just saying, when I read the blurb, I was like, yes, finally, not another one of them bloody what we've been
formula
reading.
Books. Yeah,
what we've been reading.
That's why I picked it.
Yeah, I said at least looking forward to some stuff.
You wanna go with your quote of the day first?
Yeah. Quote of the day: in the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move.
I didn't catch that properly. Say that again. Sorry.
In the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move. Okay. I believe that's from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I don't remember.
Okay. All right. Quote of the day. Today, everything is made in China. Of course, except for courage. For that is found in Palestine.
I think we should edit that out. Palestine doesn't exist, guys. It's created by the British.
This was the quote that I was talking about.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Do you know what?
That definitely is a bomb. Not unlike what you might find in Palestine. No.
Do you know what? When I wrote this down, I thought, ooh, can I say that? I don't know if I can say that.
Do you know what's funny? There's a scene from my book that I'm writing where one of my characters is going through London and there's a Free Palestine rally. And because I remember I was going to work one time, exactly the same place that parade I was just telling you about, or Whitehall, they've locked it up. And there's one with a megaphone, 1, 2, 3, 4, occupation no more. And just singing bare stuff, 5, 6, 7, 8, Israel is a terrorist state. And I was just going to work, but I was just like, oh, this is a book. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was like, let me put this in my book. But then I was thinking, you send this to publishers, they see stuff about Israel and Palestine. They might just be like,
it's not worth
might not be worth it, you know.
So what, are you saying we need to cut this out or let it run?
I'm saying...
Because I didn't say anything. I just encouraged us surrounding Palestine. You're not saying nothing.
No, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much.
Do you like the quote?
No, it is good. It is good.
You're cancelled.
I'm crying.
You're now culpable.
Straight sabotage.
I ain't going down alone, you know.
I'm dead. Like I said, I'll take as many people down with me as possible.
So yeah. All right. Well, we both got to go. So yeah. Till next time.
Till next time.